Alright, YouTube, this is Debo from Debo's Beast Cruiser. Lord, okay. Let's look at this beast. This motherfucker. Fast. I got the 36.2 sprocket on it. I'm waiting on the 32 to come. I got a 30 in the house, but my hub adapter don't fit. I need to kind of bolt onto the wheel hub, so I got a 32 coming. Alright. Let me show you what it just did. It did 42. Now this ain't the first time it's been a 42. Okay, I had it at 42. I had the 44.2 sprocket on it. That head, standard carburetor, rejetted, homemade exhaust, no expansion chamber, on a normal beach cruiser frame. It did 42 miles per hour. All right, with the 44.2 sprocket that came with it. Now, I built a new one, rat rod style, same motor. Oh, and the other motor was ported a little bit. This one is opened up so far that the top and bottom is like paper thin of the port. I didn't go up on the inside. I went wide on the inside and up on the outside of the exhaust port and the intake ports. The newest addition to the bike is the expansion chamber, which I just did yesterday. Posted a video on it. I ordered one off of a yx85, and I had to cut it here because this pipe here was turned upward. So I had to cut it there, rotate it down so it lined up with the port. Found another piece of pipe which was some stock Huffy forks. The tubing was the exact size. It slid right in, like barely slid in the end of this. I had to flatten it out on the ends. I took a giant washer. Let's see if I can get it to focus. A giant washer. Well, anyway, a giant washer to for the flange. I cut slits in the side so I can bolt it up. I had to grind down the top part because it wouldn't get past the fins. I didn't want to grind on the fins. And I just siliconed up the iono gasket, so I siliconed it. But basically welded it all together to the YZ pipe. YZ pipe is now on the bike. I bought a what is it called? CDH Power revalve kit, and it says it's for the 40 millimeter and a 32 millimeter. Now I found one problem when I first put it on, which was the back of this is slotted where the holes are, where it bolts to your engine. Now with it being slotted and you having a gasket in there, there's a gap, big gap, where the air can leak out on both sides. So you're getting air sucked in. Not really a good thing, because the revalve ain't gonna work like it's supposed to. So what I end up doing was taking the gasket itself, cutting the ends off, cut a little strip off, and sliding it in on itself so it covers that gap, and siliconed everything up so it stays together, and then tighten it down real good on both sides. Then what I did, because that little puny ass, I don't use no stock carburetor bullshit, so I took the original plate that came with the kit, cut off this piece that they put on there, grinded it down, took my Dremel, opened a hole up, another piece of Huffy fork, it's over 1 inch in diameter, welded it on, had the same angle as that. Right now I have a OKO 26 millimeter carburetor on it. Before I made a flange for a PZ 22 millimeter carburetor, and it worked okay. The only problem was that carburetor was a stock carburetor off of one of my 125cc dirt bikes, and it had no adjustments. So no air fuel adjustment, no nothing. So rejetting it was a problem because I can't find jets that fit that. All the jets I find are 5 millimeter for the OKOs and PEs, and anything bigger than a 22, aka 26 and up. I got a 26, but that's on my 125. So anyway, I don't even remember what jets is in this OKO right now. But right now it got me to 42 miles per hour. I got the idle screw 2 turns out, I mean, not the idle screw, the idle air, fuel air mixture screw. Turns out. I first had it, it ran like shit. Now it runs a little bit better. I still got to get it to idle smooth and start and run. I still have to put my hand on the back of the carburetor like a whistle jig to take off, to get it some gas, and then after that I can throttle it and it goes. Okay. Next is the gas tank I made out of a fire extinguisher. Everybody's seen them online. It's not hard to make. Yeah. Go to Home Depot, get you some 1-inch fittings, cap and threaded piece. Drill a hole in the tank with a hole drill. Weld it on. Cut off the neck piece. Mine leaked a little bit, so I slapped a bunch of silicone around it. I ain't worried about it because the gas runs towards the back of the tank anyway. It has no leaks. I let that dry real good before I ever filled it with gas. That's high temperature red RTV gasket maker. You can see a 36 tooth bolted to the hub. Clutch slips sometimes. I mean, it slips. I got 27.5. Let's see if we can see this. Anyway, 27.5-inch tires. Let's see. 27.5 by 2.8. Front and rear. I have OCC chopper swing forks on here. They long as fuck, and I like that. They raked out. Made my own brackets for my disc brake. Right now I have a 180 on here. I got a 203 or a 220 or whatever the hell they call it. So I'm gonna have to cut them brackets and make some new ones. Remade my own handlebars. Hold on. Get this kickstand up right. Okay. Remade my own handlebars. I like the motorcycle style, the low look to it. So took some beach cruiser handlebars and cut them and yeah, fabbed up a bunch of shit. Some old mountain bike handlebars and some beach cruiser handlebars, and I got that effect. Love that low look. You can see these. The OCC chopper swing has a 1 1/8 inch neck. So what I had to do was take the cups off the OCC chopper and weld them flush on my Huffy, or it's a Schwinn bike, but let's see, it's a Schwinn. But I have to weld them on there so this whole unit will fit, and that's how you got it. Rat rod style, not supposed to be pretty, it's supposed to be functional and fast. You see my lean back seat post? That's a socket, yes it is. See, welded to 2 1/4-inch bars, drilled the holes, bolted it together up there, put a banana seat, and that's off of a female's Huffy bike. And cut the sissy pole, tucked it inside, bolted it up, wanted it as low as possible. I just put a rubber tube right here because I didn't get a chance to cut and bend this down, which I'm gonna do, and then put some more pipe on it so it follows the curve of that. And then I'm gonna have a kick out at the back. But for now, for testing purposes, I just threw a piece of hose on there because I didn't want that shit blowing on me. And this is what you get. Schwinn, chopped out, stretched. Oh yeah, forgot to tell you all the little other stuff I did right here. Cut these because in order to fit the fat tire bike, 27.5, the tire would have been here. Use some old handlebars, cut them, slid them on, tacked them in place, both sides, make sure they lined up. Took some smaller rod, actually the piece that came out of here, I took that, slid it in, welded it on both sides. This piece came off of a mongoose because that's the disc brake bracket on the other side, which I was going to use, but I had to put the sprocket on because I didn't have the hub adapter, so that's going to get changed up later on so I can have dual disc brakes. Got gears so it makes it easier to pedal. Had to stretch the chain, relocated the pedals up some, cut it off another bike, grinded it, welded it. There you go. So I do have rear gears. The front sprocket, of course, this is original Huffy. Had to grind the teeth down, thin them out, because this mountain bike 10-speed chain is thinner than your regular beach cruiser chain. It won't fit back there over those teeth, and they get to skipping and doing all type of crazy shit. So anyway, yep, welded them on, Put the wheel on, bolted it on tight, made sure the top and the bottom was evenly spaced apart. Tack, pulled everything apart, fully welded everything, put it back together, everything lines up perfectly. My back wheel is perfectly straight. Yeah, I got these wheels and tires off of the same mongoose that I took that back piece off of. Yeah, I cut up a Schwinn and did all of this, but I had to make room for the 27.5-inch tires, which I have plenty of room for now. I leave that cover off because there's no purpose of it being on. All it do is hold in heat. You need this clutch. It needs to be cooled off or it's going to overheat, especially with running a lot of power to these motors like I do and most other people do. In order to fit past the fat tire bike, I had to make a new bracket, which I had to weld and bolt right there. Weld it to the side of the frame, bolt it, drill a hole, bolt it there. And also this front piece, which looks all boogered up, but it's some bolts stacked up, welded together, and welded to the plate. The plate was already on there. I sat it all in place, tacked it in place, and yeah. So it's one whole piece. And I could take this off and swap it to another bike. I just have to make another L bracket, little piece like that, to mount, which is not hard. Super simple, if I ever wanted to. So that's all she wrote. It's Devo's Beach Cruiser. Rat rod, 80cc, all the work's done to it. Waiting on this 32 sprocket so I can see how fast that bitch goes now. Does 42 miles per hour as it stands. I need to rejet this carb so it can dump more gas and get more power because it's getting a shitload of air but not enough gas. Already lowered the jet, or raised the jet, should I say, and lowered the clip as far down as it can go. Gotta rejet it and then do some more testing. Right now I'm a little tired. I'll get back with you guys when we post this video. Devo's Beach Cruiser, over and out.